Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel where I'm going to be uploading videos relating to both LEGO and Harry Potter. I thought I'd start off with my first video on a topic that covers both, and that's going to be looking at the new 2021 summer LEGO Harry Potter sets. So the pictures of this came out a couple of days ago and I've got a lot to say about them, so wasting no more time, let's get on with today's video. So first off, we have the set 76386 called the Hogwarts Polyjuice Potion Mistake. This set is going to cost $20, £18 or €20. It's going to include 217 pieces, making it the smallest Harry Potter set from the summer wave. Now, when I first saw a picture of this set, which was leaked a couple months ago, I'm not going to lie, I was pretty disappointed. I was disappointed for a number of reasons. The size of the set, the proportions of the set, the design of the roof. However, after seeing pictures of the other Hogwarts related sets and now understanding how this set gets integrated with the others, my criticisms are withdrawn. I appreciate now that the set has to be within a certain width, length and height due to the fact that it slots into one of the towers in the Chamber of Secrets set. It can get incredibly challenging for these LEGO designers to fit all the necessary detail needed for this scene to work in such a small space. I think they've accomplished that, to be fair to them. You know, at the end of the day, we're not getting much, but what you are getting is everything needed to make this scene work. You know, we get the toilet, we get the entrance to the chamber, which does open up, and we are getting the potion making equipment. However, I do think the highlights of this set are indeed the minifigures. I love how we're getting more Slytherin torsos as a Slytherin myself, and I love how we're getting double-sided face prints of both Crabbe and Goyle in this set. I think that's really neat, and it's the attention to detail that I not only expect but appreciate from LEGO. I do think the best figure from this set, however, is the cat Hermione. I think the mould for the cat piece really works, and I think this set will sell really well simply for the minifigures. If you're on a budget and are looking to buy a Harry Potter set, I think that's going to be your reason why you would buy this set. Because the build is rather useless as a standalone, and we're going to see that as a consistent theme throughout this video, where sets are going to be pretty useless without the main set being the Chamber of Secrets, as these smaller sets are simply just add-ons to the big one. So if you really like this set for the minifigures, hey, I hear you man, go for it. I think this set is worth it just for the minifigures alone, but if you're looking to get more out of this set than just the minifigures, I wouldn't recommend this set for you if you're on a budget. The golden figure that we get for this set is Harry. I guess it makes sense for the main character's golden figure to be in the most accessible and cheapest set. So this golden figure won't be as rare or desirable as some of the others, but that's okay. I think it's still pretty cool. The next set that we're going to be taking a look at is set 76395, the Hogwarts First Flying Lesson. It consists of 264 pieces and technically 5 minifigures, and is going to retail for $30, £28 and €30. Personally, I think this is one of the most overpriced sets in this wave, and it probably should have cost around the $25 to £20 mark in my opinion. However, I do really like this set. I mean, it looks pretty ordinary, right, but it can actually be assembled in a multitude of different ways. As you can see by the picture on the screen, you can disassemble this set and put it back together however you want, and it kind of makes this set appealing in a way that most of us don't. Inside the set you have a pretty clean and simple interior with a barrel and broomstick on one side with a trophy cabinet on the other. The front of the set we have a pretty nice looking wall build with 4 different Hogwarts house banners and shields. I really do hope that they're printed, but I wouldn't mind if they were stickers. What I do like about the way that this is designed though is that they refrain from using either grey or green roofs, meaning that we can display the set with either the 2018 to 2020 Hogwarts expansions or the 2021 20th anniversary Hogwarts expansions, which I think a lot of people, including myself, will appreciate. What I also appreciate is the fact that the Hooch figure we get is exclusive. We've made her, they've made her different than the one that they gave us in the Bricktober pack, with her having a different robe colour and print, also having a completely different hairpiece. LEGO could have easily just given us the same figure to cut costs, but they made the decision not to in order to ensure that the Bricktober version remains exclusive, and I enormously appreciate that. The other figures in the set include a statue, Draco Malfoy, Neville Longbottom with a cool little remembrall piece, and of course Golden Quirrell. I'm not sure why Quirrell was included in this set, as it's not related to the scene whatsoever. I personally think it would have been best suited to the chess set, but it's not too much of a problem I guess. Overall, I think this set is really good if you're looking just to get one set from this wave. It gives you a build that looks respectable as a standalone, as well as 4 pretty awesome minifigures, with one of them being Golden Quirrell. But maybe wait 6 months for the first Christmas sales, maybe be able to pick this up for a more reasonable price. I mean, what they easily could have done with this set is just throw in a Harry and a McGonagall figure, which would have justified the price just a little bit more. And when you come to think about it, Harry and McGonagall are very much essential to this scene. You know, in the film we see Draco pick up the Remembrall once Madame Hooch has taken Neville to the hospital wing. This triggers Harry to challenge Malfoy to disguise to take the Remembrall back from him. Doing this, of course, leads McGonagall to roll onto the scene and take him away. So this scene without either Harry or McGonagall just feels incomplete and makes that £30, or $30 I should say, or £28 price point a little harder to swallow. Like, at least throw in a Harry. So this set is called Fawkes Dumbledore's Phoenix. It's set number 76394 and comes with 1 minifigure. It consists of 597 pieces and retails for just $40, £35 and €40. I actually think this is one of the best sets in this wave in terms of price. You really are getting a lot for your money with this set. So this set you're getting a UCS style Fawkes build on a stand with a Technic mechanism which allows the wings to flap like the previous year's Lego Hedwig set that we got. In fact, this set is as close as you could possibly make it to that Hedwig set. It essentially uses the same design for the wings and Technic mechanisms with recoloured pieces, which means we are going to have the same issues with this set as we got with the Hedwig one. Like those being the tail feathers falling off easily, and also just the general mechanisms being clunky and shaking the model slightly when you do use it. However, there are some improvements I feel in other areas. I think the look of the bird just looks better in my opinion. They've also managed to conceal the mechanism better under the wings, which I appreciate. I also think the head of the bird looks better and more like the movie counterpart compared to the Hedwig set, and even things like the claws look more accurate. I also think the stand that Fawkes comes on is much better than the one we got in the Hedwig set, and it just suits the colours of the model more, and I think the set colours as a whole, they just pop. I think it's going to look pretty eye-catching on display, and really that's the target audience. People aren't buying this set to play with, if you will. People are buying this set to put on display in their bedroom or living room and draw people's attention, and I think that this set achieves that for a really fair price. What we also get in this set is an exclusive Dumbledore figure on a stand with a minifig scale Fawkes. I don't really think that this version of Dumbledore is better than the other year's 1 to 2 variants we've had in the previous sets like the Great Hall and the CMF series, but I do appreciate that they've made it unique nonetheless. Overall, if you're on a budget and looking to pick up a Harry Potter set that doesn't require other sets around it to look good on display, then this is the set for you. But if you're wanting more playability from a Harry Potter set, I'd recommend spending a little bit more money and picking up the chess set instead, as I'd imagine you get bored of this set's mechanisms pretty quickly, but with the chess set, you can play that endlessly. The next set we're going to discuss is actually my least favourite set from this wave, and that's set number 76387, Hogwarts Fluffy Encounter. This set retails for the same price as the Fawkes set at $40, £35 and €40, with nearly half the piece count at 397. This set also comes with 4 minifigures. So let's kick things off of why I'm not so much a fan of this set. The first thing that catches me off guard is the build itself. I don't think the build for this set is impressive in any particular way. It almost looks like a juniors line set in some respects. I just feel the exterior build itself lacks detail, and we're going to see that theme continue into the interior as well. So for the interior of this set, we can see we have a trapdoor room where you can place Fluffy. We also have a quote room underneath for Devil's Snare, and to be honest, this just isn't Devil's Snare. It looks nothing like it, and I think the 2001 version of Devil's Snare looks more accurate, and considering that set was made 20 years ago, then that's pretty embarrassing. To the left of Devil's Snare, we have a balcony room at the base of the set. Now you could point out that you can configure this set to have the balcony at the top layer, as shown on the screen now, but then the problem is, where does the trapdoor lead to? The answer is nowhere. In this setup, the Devil's Snare will be off to the side at the same level as the trapdoor room, which is just completely silly. And of course, you have the alternate setup, as you can see on screen now, where we just end up having a roof piece. I mean, I'm not even going to call that a room. Like, on the floor level, below the trapdoor, we have a roof below the trapdoor. Some other reasons this set annoys me is the harp design. The harp colour in the film is like a dirty gold, but for this set they've made it both yellow and pearl gold. I think making the harp in two different colours just really throws people off. They should have gone and made the harp either completely pearl gold, which I would have preferred, or completely yellow. Now I don't understand the reason why they've done this, and that's because they don't make all the pieces used in the harp in all yellow or all pearl gold, so they've gone and done a combination of both. But this is just another cost saving tactic that we've seen from LEGO that I didn't think was needed here, considering the fact that the set is quite pricey already. Like comparing this set to the 2018 Quidditch match set for example, it cost the same price for over 100 less parts and 2 less minifigures. And speaking of the minifigures for this set, they simply make no sense because the Harry, Ron and Hermione in this set all come in their Hogwarts robes, but in the scene where they are in the company of Fluffy with the harp, they're in the clothes that we see in the chess set. The only time the trio are in their Hogwarts robes with Fluffy is the very first time they stumble across him, but in this scene there was no harp at all. So the minifigure outfit selection here is bizarre. In order to fix this, they should have just taken out the poorly designed harp and given us a Filch and Mrs. Norris, as they were, who Harry, Ron and Hermione were running away from, and that's the reason why they came across Fluffy in the first place. I think that's everything I dislike about this set. I forgot about Fluffy himself. I think the design for Fluffy is rather lackluster. The heads themselves, I don't think they're too bad to be honest, but when it comes to the brick built parts, it just stops looking like a dog. Like everything from the clunky shaping, the paws, which, let's be honest, just aren't paws, to the jarring light bluish grey connector pieces at the top. It all just feels off to me, so overall, this isn't a set that I'd recommend for people to get. Just certainly not. Instead of spending $40 or £35 on this set, I'd recommend going over to tommycbricks.com and picking up the instructions to Tommy's Fluffy mock. The build stands out and is far more accurate to the Fluffy in LEGO's official set. Also to note that the bricklink parts of this mock are less than the retail price of the Fluffy Encounter set. The golden minifigure for this set is Hermione, and yeah, this is going to be a desirable figure, but I suggest just waiting and buying her on bricklink alone, just to save yourself money, rather than buying this set just for the golden figure. So this set is called the Hogwarts Wizard Chess. It's set number 76392 and comes with 876 pieces and 4 minifigures. Now one of the only issues I have with this set is the price, and that's because it costs $60 but £65 and €70. Now this is odd because the conversion rates here are totally out of whack. It's cheapest in the United States when the USD is worth less than the pound and the euro. For comparison, I'm going to compare this to the LEGO Hagrid's Hut set from 2019. That set retailed for $60, the very same price as the chess set, but it translated to just £50 and €60. So why is this a $60 set 2 years later and it's now translating to £65 and €70? When the dollar is worth more in 2019 than it does now. It's just a bit bizarre, and I don't know where this extra €10 and £15 came from. But the price point alone of €70 and £65 I don't think is too bad for 876 pieces. It's just the conversion rate I have a problem with, so I thought I'd mention that from the get-go. Now onto the set itself, and I must say, I love it. When this set was first leaked, the rumours were that this was going to be the $250 D2C set that we'll be seeing in August. Now my initial reaction to that was negative, because I didn't want a $250 spot to be taken up by a chess set when there's so many other desirable Harry Potter sets yet to make. But now knowing that this set is going to take up a middle cost spot, I'm a lot more open to having this set, even though I've forgotten how to play chess myself. The build for this set is quite neat, and I really like the chessboard pieces. I think they've used very imaginative techniques, and I probably would have preferred them to use full minifigures and proper horses, because looking at Ron for example on the horse in this picture, it just doesn't look great to me, but I do appreciate that this would have caused the price to go up even further. Regarding the minifigures for this set, we get Harry, Ron, Hermione and a golden Snape. The golden Snape in this set seemed a bit odd, and like I said about the Quidditch flying lesson, they probably should have used Quirrell here, but when it comes to the main trio's figs, man, I love them. The detail on the torsos is perfect, and I especially adore the Hermione figure. I do wish though that they put a couple cuts and scratches on the faces, as they were present on Harry and Ron especially during these scenes in the film, but overall I'd recommend this set to you regardless of your age. If you're an adult or a kid, like, this is due to simply the building techniques. Is a pretty easy set to assemble, and the desirability and collectability of these figures. But not only that, it's just the playability, the endless playability you get with all age groups on this set. Being that it's a playable chessboard, I think this is one of the strongest sets in the wave. So going on to our next set, we have set number 76388, the Hogsmeade Village Visit. Has 851 pieces with 7 minifigures and retails for a very fair price of $80, £70 and €80. Now I really like this set. This set is obviously very different and stands out compared to some of the other sets in this wave, and I think that's what makes this set one of the strongest. You don't need other sets to go with it to make it impressive on display. If anything, the set could easily fit into someone's winter village setup. So if we take a look at what we get in this set, we get 2 buildings. We get Honeydukes and the 3 broomsticks. Now I do wish the set was more similar to the 2011 Diagon Alley set, in which we had 3 buildings. The third building I want to see would of course be the Shrieking Shack. With this edition, I'd make the set $120 or £120, like how the Diagon Alley set was priced back in 2011, instead of $80 and £70. Then I'd take one of the Buildable Figures out from the Buildable Figures set and make that be the $80 or £70 set instead. So basically what I'm saying is that I'd add the Shrieking Shack to the set, then simplify the Buildable character set and just swap around the price points. I think that would have been a better approach here, and it would have given the fans a Shrieking Shack, which we've all been asking for years now, while also giving us something new with the Buildable Figures, but I'll get more onto that when we cover that set next. So looking at the minifigures for this set, we get Mr. and Mrs. Flume, Madame Myrta, Professor McGonagall, Dean Thomas, Harry Potter, and the golden figure for the set is Ronald Weasley. Now to make this scene a little more sensible and movie accurate, I would have traded out the Dean Thomas figure with Cornelius Fudge, the Minister for Magic, and then gave Harry an invisibility cloak, because then he could reenact the scene in the 3 broomsticks where Harry discovers that Sirius Black is his godfather. You'd have all the necessary figures for that. Besides that, I do like the minifigure selection here. We have a lot of unique figures, and we have a McGonagall figure with that new face print, robe print and hairpiece. I'm still waiting for the day we get a McGonagall in her black robes, as that's actually the most common variety of her that appears in the films. She was dressed in black more than she was dressed in green, but yeah, hopefully one day we'll get that. What I also like what LEGO have done with this minifigure selection here is they've decided not to reuse the CMF figures of Ron and Hermione with the Butterbeer cups, which of course would have been very lazy from them, and it would not have been fair to the people who bought those CMF figures. But now, if you have those 2 CMF figures, then that's all the more reasons for you to pick up this set. So yeah, this set gets a big thumbs up from me. I think it's going to appeal to you, especially if you're an older collector, due to the fact that we haven't got a Hogsmeade set in such a long time, and just the attention to detail that this set has, such as the snowy roofs, the crammed cosy interior, the unique and detailed minifigures, and even things like the wanted poster of Sirius Black. You can tell that LEGO put a lot of care and attention into this set. For this set, we're going to be taking a look at set 76393, Harry Potter and Hermione Granger. This set retails for $120, £120 and €130. So as we can see again, the conversion rate here is totally out of whack, just like a couple of the other sets in this wave, but generally speaking, I still feel this set is fairly priced considering we get 1,673 pieces, but unfortunately, no minifigures. Now this set I'm really thrown off by. It's very unique and it's something we haven't really seen before, not just from Harry Potter, but including other themes too. When I first heard that this set was going to be buildable figures, I was expecting that these may not be brick built but Technic built, and I was also fearing that these buildable figures would not be based off the actual minifigures, so I'm happy that both of these fears never came to fruition. But I still don't know how I feel about this, as it's something that is completely new. I really need to give myself a chance to build these, and in the meantime I'm going to reserve total judgment. What I do wish though is that this set wasn't so expensive. Like I said in my discussion about the Hogsmeade Visit set, this set should have been $80 and £70. That should have been the price point, and they should have just given us to Harry, not Harry and Hermione. LEGO didn't need to double up on this and try and sell it for so much money. Just give us the Harry and a little stand that has a unique Harry Potter figure, just like the Hedwig and Fawkes set that we've seen. This way, they could have avoided this situation where people just aren't going to be willing to give this set a chance because they're asking basically the same price for this set as the Chamber of Secrets set. And I just have a feeling that the vast majority of people are going to elect for the Chamber of Secrets set instead of this. Not only that, but if you do get the set, we have Harry and Hermione, but no Ron. It just feels really incomplete. And on one hand, I'm like, I want them to give us a Ron figure now, just so we can have the trio, the full trio. But on the other hand, I don't, because I'm not sure if I want any more of these buildable figures. It's a really awkward position, and we wouldn't be in this boat if they just gave us the Harry and a unique minifigure. Another gripe I have about this set is, who is it targeted at? In LEGO's official images it shows a child playing with them, but does this really feel like a kid's set? I don't think so. I think LEGO made a mistake with its marketing here, because I feel if LEGO geared the set towards adults, with say a unique minifigure and a display stand for the buildable characters, it would have sold better than them trying to target the set for children, which they seem to have done. LEGO have set up this set to compete directly for the child's market against the Chamber of Secrets set, which is also child's focus and costs about the same price as this set, and in my opinion, that's just going to cause the set to be completely outsold versus its competitor here. But it didn't need to be that way, sadly. So going on to our last set now, we have set number 76389, the Chamber of Secrets. This set comes with 11 minifigures and retails for $130, £130 and €140. Now this set is steep in price, ignoring the out of whack conversion rate again. I still think it's pretty expensive all around the world generally. I mean, I would have liked the set to be about $10 to $20 cheaper, but I wouldn't say it's too badly priced, considering we get 1,176 pieces. Now this set is my favourite from the entire wave. I absolutely love this set. We haven't had a Chamber of Secrets set since 2002, so I'm super down to get one again. What's noticeable about this set is how it's virtually the same build as the 2001 Hogwarts Castle set, which of course is the entire point of the 20th anniversary, and that's why they have the green roofs, etc. But at the same time, I feel it's a representation of how far LEGO has come in those 20 years. You can put both of those sets side by side and appreciate the new pieces, the increased detail, the superior building techniques, and the improvements to the quality of the minifigures. So in this set we get the Great Hall, which can be converted to a dueling room. We have the Defence Against the Dark Arts classroom and Lockhart's office above. We also get an astronomy room and of course the Chamber of Secrets itself. So if we start with the Great Hall, I do appreciate that we've already had a Great Hall set recently, but this set is completely different. I don't think that if you already have the Great Hall set already, that's going to affect your decision much to buy this set, as both the 20th anniversary Hogwarts expansions and the 2018 to 2020 Hogwarts expansions are meant to be displayed separately. What I do like about the Great Hall here is the clever use of Dumbledore's podium using Golden Hedwig, also the fact that they've managed to integrate some playability into this room in such a small space compared to the 2018 Great Hall. Underneath the Great Hall, we have the main section of the Chamber of Secrets. It has Salazar Slytherin's face with an opening mouth to release the basilisk. I do wish though that the head did protrude from the building so we could reenact the scene where Harry kills the basilisk while standing on top of the head, as you can't do that here, but that's okay. When it comes to the other side of the castle, I think the classrooms and the office are fine. They do their job well and articulate the surroundings in, again, a very small space. So with this set, I feel you really need at least the addition of Moaning Myrtle's bathroom to slot underneath the Defence Against the Dark Arts classroom, thus utilising the slide feature underneath, which leads to the chamber. And I think that's one issue with this set, is that if you do get this set, you're going to be tempted to buy some of the expansions, and that can be quite costly. Other than that, I think there should have been more bones at the bottom of the slide, as in the film, the ground is literally covered in bones, but here, you only get 2 or 3. I also like the additional entrance to the chamber in a separate side build, but I'm not really sure where this would fit in to the actual core build. Now onto the minifigures for this set. We have Tom Riddle, Gilderoy Lockhart, Albus Dumbledore, Professor Sinistra, Harry, Ginny, Ron, Luna, Justin Finch-Fletchley, as well as a glow-in-the-dark, nearly headless Nick, and of course, Golden Lord Voldemort. So I think the figures in the set are really good. The glow-in-the-dark, nearly headless Nick is such a cool addition, as we haven't had a glow-in-the-dark Harry Potter figure in such a long while. However, I do wish this figure was the Bloody Baron rather than Nearly Headless Nick, as this is a Slytherin themed set with it being called the Chamber of Secrets, and also the fact that we already got a Nearly Headless Nick a couple years ago. Other little issues I have with the minifigures include the look of Tom Riddle. I think those legs had to be dual modded for them to work really, as the side on view for that figure looks silly in my opinion. It's just all light grey. There's also the inclusion of Luna in this set, which I feel is totally bizarre considering she's not relevant to the Chamber of Secrets at all. I would have preferred a Percy Weasley, or even they could have just given us a Penelope Clearwater. They could have used the same robes as Luna and maybe even the same hair. What I will say though is that I do absolutely adore the Gilderoy Lockhart figure. We haven't gotten a Lockhart figure in his golden robes in such a long time. That's the clothes he wore around Hogwarts. I do wish the figure did come with a cloak however, but we can't have everything I guess. I also like how the Dumbledore figure is again exclusive, and now we have so many different variants of the years 1 to 2 Dumbledore. It's really kind of neat. What I think is missing here though is Fawkes. I do like Ash and Flash's idea of how they should have given us a flying posed Fawkes with a clip at his feet so he could hold the sword of Gryffindor, which would allow him to fly in and give Harry the sword, just like in the film. But it strikes me as bizarre that we don't even get a Fawkes here at all. Regarding the accessories for this set, I think the pixies are cool. I also like the slight change to the Sword of Gryffindor to make the rubies a solid red rather than a trans red, thus keeping the CMF versions unique while keeping a very similar level of detail. I think that's really clever from LEGO. And finally, we come on to the Basilisk, and I absolutely love this Basilisk. To me it's almost perfect and is infinitely better than the one we got in 2018, which was frankly an insult to snakes. What I do wish though, however, is that this Basilisk had detachable fangs, which could then be used to stick into the diary via a connection. This would obviously require a new diary mold to do this, but I think it would have been worth it, and it just adds that extra level of detail which would grab the attention of the AFOL audience, as this is clearly more geared towards the younger audience. But I think if you are an AFOL, there's still a lot of desirability in this set, and also mod and muck potential. I can assure you that one mod I'm doing is I'm going to plan to extend the main hallway of the Chamber of Secrets outwards and align more of those snake statues on either side with some water. I think that mod would really add depth to the scene and it won't be too costly to execute. So overall, I think that this is the best set for me. I think though that people need to be aware that this is probably going to cost you more than the retail price buying this set. What I mean by that is that you're probably going to be tempted to pick up the extensions, which will just really add to the set's magnitude, and I think that's true vice versa as well. I think buying the extensions as a standalone is not really going to satisfy you without this core Chamber of Secrets set. So I'm going to round off this video with the collectible LEGO Chocolate Frog cards. So we know that in some of the new 2021 summer Harry Potter sets, we're going to be getting some of these collectible LEGO tiles, but that's really all we know. We don't know if there's going to be a possibility of getting duplicates in each set, if each set is always going to come with the exact same cards, and we don't know if some cards will be more rare than others. What I can say though is I think this is a good idea and really makes the 20th anniversary of LEGO Harry Potter that bit more special. I think I would have preferred the cards to actually be made out of card rather than LEGO, but of course this is better than nothing. So thank you for watching this video. I'd love to hear some feedback. I know this video was a long one, but not all my videos will be this long. I just had a lot to say on these sets. Please comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Later.